Hello, friends. It's a proud privilege to have with us Colonel VD Singh, more known as Venu Dhar Singh. And viewers, he is such a versatile officer who has been in the Indian Army. I mean, he was totally an asset to the Indian Army. And it is though he was commissioned into the Army Education Code, but while once we talk with him and once we speak to him, you will come to know that what a versatile officer he is. Apart from his education side, that of course was his prime duty and the responsibility. But over his career in the army, I mean, he has achieved a lot. And that too, basically, the opportunities which were available to him and how these have been used. I'm quite sure once you listen to him, it will be a lot of learning to you and a lot of motivation to join the army. So, Colonel VD, so welcome on the show.
Thank you, sir.
And friends, before we progress ahead and ask his comments and the views, I'll request you to please subscribe for our channel. And so that you don't miss out in future, also we'll be we'll be speaking to and taking interviews of a lot of such versatile officers like Colonel VD Singh. So welcome on the show, Colonel VD, once again.
Thank you, sir.
So before we go into the details of your career, just let me just ask you, can you in brief tell me your journey in the army, your so many years of service you have put in, how was your journey through the entire army tenure as such?
Right, sir. Sir, my long journey of 30 years in the army has been a roller coaster ride for me. Because at the end of it, once I became a veteran, I realized that there is no other organization which gives you so much exposure on professional level, and it basically helps you to fulfill your dreams. I've been basically an adventurer right throughout, even before joining the army. I was in the Air Wing NCC and I was always enchanted with flying. I'm very so my entire journey in the army has been so fulfilling. I'm really grateful that I actually left corporate sector and joined the army. It's the other way around. Otherwise, what happens? People after superannuating or prematurely leaving the army, they join corporate sector. For me, it was totally opposite, and I'm very grateful to my mentors, to Almighty God, that these 30 years have been full of professional satisfaction, having served in the intense CI ops area, also being a technical graduate because I entered as an engineering graduate in the army, having served in various computer centers, and also fulfilling my dream as a pilot. I was an aviation instructor also, and microlight flying, and I mean, you name it. I mean, if you have it in you, army gives you ample opportunity to actually realize your dreams. That's how I look at it. And my last tenure was in Ladakh. And sir, let me confess that in spite of these difficult areas, serving in these difficult areas, every tenure adds a feather in your cap.
Yeah.
This is how I take it. I superannuated in 2017. And
every tenure as such is a different experience altogether. I mean,
yes,
and it's a new chapter in your life, actually, in the soldier's life, So that's a great, in fact, great. Your journey have been very adventurous, I would say, and it's a Colonel VD Singh is a true example as to how. I mean, he had all those leadership which could have been utilized, of course, in the corporate world where he had already entered, but he left that and joined the army, and it is the army actually finally who benefited, and I would say this nation benefited by having Colonel VD Singh in the Indian Army. I mean, you have been a great example as a motivator, and a lot of other things. I mean, for the youth of today, you are really a true example as to why, what all things that the army gives you, and what all things you should exploit and you should learn from the army. Okay, before so you basically left the corporate world and joined as a technical officer though you were
Sir.
commissioned into the AEC, but then, of course, you were utilized, you had exploited your other expertise also. And
Sir.
Army had given you a lot of opportunities. So
Yes, sir.
can you just throw the light what all opportunities you got throughout your 30 years of career, and how
Sir.
you exploited them, how you used them for your not only for career advancement, but also to fulfill your desire as an
Sir.
adventurer, I would say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, before joining the army, I was working in the corporate sector, Hindalco, Hindustan Aluminum Corporation, which is a
Okay.
huge aluminum industry, and I was there as a systems analyst. My my career actually took off as an IT professional. I belong to Lucknow, sir, and there I started. I did my humble beginning in professional side as a computer programmer just before I joined the army.
Okay.
I worked for about 2 years after finishing my studies. So my basic qualification was industrial engineering and master's
Okay.
degree in operational research. So
Oh.
when I joined Birla, that is Hindalco for and I was there for nearly 2 years, and I'm really grateful to Almighty that I happened to apply. Those days I still remember those employment newspaper used to be there. And so I just looked at one of those advertisements that they were asking for technical graduates. Fortunately, I was fitting into the scenario, and so I joined. Now, as far as my IT background is concerned, sir, uh, I'm sure many people know that Indian armed forces, whether Army, Navy, or Air Force, are the first ones to actually make use of computers in late 60s. In
Yeah.
1967-68, the first computer was introduced in the army, which was handled by Corps of Signals. And when we talk about IT, Indian Armed Forces are the pioneers. I mean, it is not that somebody came from USA and did it. So we have been exactly. So in many fields, whether it is IT, aviation, or tank technology, or anything, we have been pioneers in that. And as far as my own background is concerned, entered as an IT professional, Army gave me ample opportunities. Like I got an opportunity to serve in College of Military Engineering, Pune, in the computer center. So
Okay.
I was instructor
Very
as well
nice.
as assistant operations manager. I got opportunity in the Military College of Telecom Engineering, which is basically meant for the Corps of Signals. Officers, they come there and they do their B Tech and M Tech. I was there in the Faculty of Computer Technology, and my knowledge was rightfully utilized, sir. I'm so happy that it was actually optimally utilized. And I was given task to teach advanced
Okay.
IT courses to the officers. At the same time, since before joining the army, I was in possession of a private pilot's license as a pilot on fixed wings.
But that's
I
great.
just happened to request. I just requested the commandant. I said, sir, this is my, and because MCT is also a pioneer in microlight flying. They have got a flying node over there. So
Okay.
he asked me, he said, can you fly these small aircraft? I said, sir, if you give me an opportunity, why not? And it so happened, sir, that that was in 91, when microlight aircraft had just made an entry in the Indian Army. And
Correct.
I could never imagine that Army gave such a free hand to the deserving officers. So my license, etc., was checked. They said, yes, you are a qualified pilot. You just do a conversion and you start flying. I mean, there
Okay.
is no organization which can give such an opportunity. So my dream as an IT professional, plus also as a flyer, got fulfilled. And having served, then my one of the most satisfying tenure, sir, which I have done, was in DG Infosystems,
Okay.
Army headquarters, and I was posted there as Joint Director IT Projects in a
Okay.
in its subunit called DDGIT, and I served there for 3.5 years. In fact, I was handling most of the IT projects in terms of monitoring and budgeting for the entire army. So this is how, and they also gave me an opportunity to enhance my qualification. I said, I want to do something in software project management. In the civil, it costs a fortune. But
No, yeah.
Army sponsors candidates. They said, okay, if you want to do it, and if you have the aptitude to do that, why not? And while in the service, officers are given an opportunity and they can enhance their qualification. Various management courses are there, and engineering. If you want to do M-Tech, provided you have a B-Tech, one always avails that opportunity. So there is no dearth of opportunities, sir, as far as armed forces are concerned, particularly Army, because I've served in the Army for 30 years.
That's a great, in fact. So friends, you must have seen as to how an IT expert was already working in the corporate world, and he would have earned so much there with his type of qualification which Colonel VD Singh had, but still he joined the army. So I would say the only मेरे को चार लाइनें Colonel VD, if you permit, याद आती हैं as to what is the difference between, let's say, you had already joined corporate world and you joined the army. After all, ऐसा क्या आ गया, मतलब इस देश के प्रति सेवा की भावना या क्या आया? तो एक चार लाइन बड़े कवि ने, एक बड़ी अच्छी शायर ने चीजें बोली हैं कि टूटने बिखरने का चलन मान लिया, टूटने बिखरने का चलन जान लिया, हमने शीशे से हालात का वजन मांग लिया, हम भी खड़े थे तकदीर के दरवाजे पर, लोग दौलत पर गिरे, हमने वतन मांग लिया. So it is something like that, and you are a true example for these 4 lines कि दौलत की कोई कमी नहीं थी वहां पर जहां पर you were already functioning, and but just for the sake of to do something for the nation, you sacrificed your the money part, I would say, for the nation, for your love for the motherland. Okay, that's Absolutely. Great. So you have been an IT professional, and of course, as part of the career enhancement, I mean, the army only sponsored you for higher education to become rise higher education in the IT sector. And like you had the talent of adventure, like you had the talent of gliding, flying. So that was also, you got the opportunity, and you, based on your recommendation only, the adventure cell, I heard a lot of that at MCT. The adventure cell was opened up, and a lot of young officers, they joined and they learned. You were being instructed there. So that's a great learning, and I hope you will be a motivational factor for the youth to join the Indian Army. So ample of opportunities. I keep telling, visiting the meeting the youngsters of today. I tell them, okay, I mean, the armed forces, not only the army, the air force, the navy, all 3 services, they give you a lot of opportunities to show your talent, to expand yourself as far as your richness of your talent which you have. Apart from, of course, your basic thing, that is the soldiering, that of course is there. So Colonel VD, I'd like to ask as to reasons as to why should youth of today join the Indian Armed Forces. सबसे पहले कहते हैं कि after all क्या चीज है ऐसी कि जो why should they join?
सर मेरे दिमाग में जो चीजें आती हैं based on my own experience, there is no organization in the world which can teach you about leadership the way Army teaches you. Imagine, sir, as a young captain who is leading a strength of about 100-150 men into the battlefield, उनका कितना विश्वास होता है सर उस एक ऑफिसर के ऊपर, and they are ready to do anything to sacrifice that. ये कौन सी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है या कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर जो ऐसा कर सकता है? आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द लीडरशिप क्वालिटी, कमराडरी, लीडरशिप, ये चीजें कौन दे सकता है? दूसरा एक जो रीजन सर मेरे समझ में आता है, दैट इज द बेस्ट मैनेजमेंट प्रैक्टिसेस have been taken by the corporate sector from the armed forces. This I studied when I was doing my post graduation in advanced statistics and operational research. This operational research is a subject which emerged during Second World War because of the need for advanced technologies employed in correct bombarding from air to ground and optimization of resources. इन सब में एक mathematical equation and statistics का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है. Later on, after cessation of war, these practices were adopted immediately by the corporate sectors, by the industries, because they found that I mean, this is tremendous. तो जो भी हम बात करते हैं, logistics management, operations management, project management is another. I have done project management while serving in the army, And I can say with very strong conviction, sir, that the best management studies have been taken from the real cases of Army, Navy, and Air Force. ये एक reason है. And lastly, Army also teaches you how to live every day. मतलब होता क्या है, एक आम इंसान का सर क्या होता है, we keep postponing things. ठीक है अगले महीने देखेंगे, ठीक है अगले हफ्ते देख लेंगे. Sir, in the Army, I have realized that time is of utmost importance. वो जो time की importance है, you live every day, because आपको पता नहीं कि कल क्या होगा. ये चीजें कहीं नहीं मिल सकती. Because sir, you cannot do a जैसे कि वो कुंडली मैच करते हैं ना कि इतने attributes corporate के इतने इसके, you can't do that. You cannot draw a parallel. You just cannot. तो ये सारी चीजें बड़े मायने रखती हैं. Money is. I'm not saying money is immaterial. Money is definitely there, but we have to see the intangibles also. बहुत सी चीजें हमको ऐसी देखनी है. So this is how.
Sir. Absolutely. I mean, so basically, once we talk of the defense services, it's basically leadership. So sir, you have it in you, or you don't have it in you. It's very simple. And to lead men, it's a total satisfaction. I mean, you are a great leader. I mean, you lead men in the war, you lead men in day-to-day CI ops, otherwise also in the peace areas also. And it's a total satisfaction life which you don't get actually in any outside world. And you rightly brought out, and the armed forces life, I mean, it is the best career, I would say, for the youth of today, for the youngsters to join the armed forces. Rather than any other career. Of course, I mean, if you don't have those qualities naturally, then you can, of course, choose the other career. But if you have the Jashba, Josh, or Zunoon, all those leadership qualities, those are looked forward in the SSB also, those 15 qualities. So why not? You should always come forward and go ahead and take the armed forces as the army as a career.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I mean, how to prepare? I mean, सबसे पहला सवाल तो ये हो जाता है कि ज्वाइन तो बहुत लोग करना चाहते हैं, बहुत बच्चे ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं, बट कैसे तैयारी कैसे करें? How to let's say everybody is not a born leader. ये leadership qualities कैसे develop कैसे हो?
सर सबसे पहले तो जब आर्मी ज्वाइन करने की तैयारी कर रहे होते हैं तो एक तो ये चीज देखी जाती है कि किस एज ग्रुप में है कैंडिडेट. 16, 17, 18 के उसमें है, then one should aim at joining NDA और उसकी preparation. If one has crossed that age, then one should look for CDS, Command Defense Services. And if somebody is like me, an engineering graduate, तो वो technical graduate scheme की तरफ जाता है. लेकिन इन तीन चीजों में common सबसे क्या है? Preparing yourself to face the interview. ये चीज कोई कॉलेज या स्कूल नहीं सिखाता. इसके लिए you need specialists. You need specialists, and those specialists are basically the veterans who have undergone rigorous training. Like you yourself, you have held those positions in the service selection boards. So I mean, इससे अच्छा क्या हो सकता है ट्रेनिंग देने वाला जो इंसान खुद SSB के अंदर ट्रेनर रह चुका हो और प्रेसिडेंट रह चुका हो और कमांडेंट. So in my humble opinion, one should start preparing at a very early stage. कहते हैं ना कि जब आंखें खोलो तभी सवेरा है. So since there are 12 or 13 different types of entries in the army, and बाकी
each level you can get, in fact, right from the moment you do 10+2, वहां पर भी आपको स्कोप है आर्मी में एंट्री लेने का. Once I say army, I mean all the three services, the armed forces.
All the three services.
And उसमें अगर आपको नहीं सक्सेसफुल होता है तो then there are at graduation level पर है, उसके बाद टेक्निकल साइड से है, और कुछ नहीं मिलता तो लास्ट में एज अ टीए भी आप जो है आ सकते हैं. टेरिटोरियल में भी आ सकते हैं जिसमें एज लिमिट इज टू द ट्यून ऑफ 40, 42. So कितनी आप देखिए कितनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं, एंड विच द यूथ ऑफ टुडे they should exploit. बट एट टाइम्स क्या होता है कि कुछ लेट जागते हैं कुछ बच्चे, तो वो सोचते हैं चलो अच्छा अब इधर सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुए तो चलिए अब आर्मी में चलते हैं. तो इस टाइप के बच्चे नेचुरली, आई मीन, यू विल नेवर सक्सीड बिकॉज वो आपके अंदर वो जुनून, वो क्वालिटीज, वो चीजें मिलेंगी नहीं आपको,
नहीं मिलेंगी.
एंड हाँ, एंड जहां तक सर्विस SSB का सवाल है, the SSB is a very, very scientifically researched SSB procedures. The test which they undergo, बहुत ही scientifically जो DRDO ने बनाए हैं ये सारे टेस्ट, बहुत बढ़िया, and they in and out of your personality that is brought out as to whether you are fit for the defense services or not. Okay, that's nice. In fact, so any memorable incident coming to your mind throughout your tenure, maybe which you still remember and it was very courageous or something, उस टाइप का कोई इंसिडेंट है आपको याद आता है?
इंसिडेंट्स तो काफी हैं, उसमें से एक जो सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग इंसिडेंट मुझको याद आ रहा है कि 91 में डब्बों के अंदर पैक होके माइक्रोलाइट्स आए थे पहली बार.
Okay.
And people were slightly skeptical. So we were 4 officers. जिसमें मैं था जिसके पास एक सिविल फ्लाइंग लाइसेंस था, but not on microlight, it was on commercial aircraft. तो उन डब्बों को खोलने के बाद it was something like do it yourself kit. यानी आप कोई एक्सपर्ट नहीं है, आप खुद ही जोड़िए और करिए काम.
खुद ही सब कुछ किया, मतलब खुद ही असेंबल भी किया होगा, खुद ही सारा कुछ उसमें फिट करके खुद ही टेस्ट भी किया होगा, and then before you take on the flying. That's great.
लगाते थे हम और उसमें propeller. I only had the advantage of सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि अब इसको टेस्ट कैसे किया जाए. टेस्ट करने का मतलब क्या होता है? हवा में ले जाना. तो हवा में ले जाने के पहले तो 5-6 दिन तक तो हम टैक्सी करते हैं.
करेक्ट.
वाकई उड़ जाएगा कि नहीं है. अल्टीमेटली वो उड़ गया एंड आई वाज एबल टू टेक इट टू 5000 फीट, क्योंकि टर्बो चार्ज नहीं था, इसलिए ज्यादा ऊंचाई नहीं ले सकते. लेकिन सर मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ उसमें ऐसी फीलिंग हो रही थी जैसे कि शायद प्रोबेबली 1984 में राकेश शर्मा मूवी होगी.
and with your experience being an aviator and a microlight expert otherwise, मतलब बिल्कुल डर भी नहीं आया होगा कि ये देखो बिल्कुल नई चीज आई है, मैंने असेंबल करी और मैं इसको अभी जो है हवा में लेके जा रहा हूँ, तो बिल्कुल वो भी फीलिंग नहीं आई होगी, because I mean you are very confident. So yeah, that's a great incident and a great experience.
अगर आप इजाजत दें तो एक छोटा सा आपको और बताता हूँ. सर आई वाज पोस्टेड इन बारामूला में मैं पोस्टेड था 2006 से 2009 तक. आई वाज पोस्टेड देयर एज ए मीडिया ऑफिसर एंड एजुकेशन ब्रांच वाज आल्सो, सो आई वाज प्लेइंग डुअल रोल. वहां पर एज ए पार्ट ऑफ ऑपरेशन सद्भावना जीओसी साहब ने कहा कि you have got a very good background of music because I actually grew up with music. So what can you do इनके hearts and mind को जीतने के लिए वैली में जो कश्मीरियों की क्या कर सकते हो? Can you do something जो टीवी पे दिखाई देता है जैसे सारेगामा and all that competition? मैं कहा सर you please give me some time. सर मैं बैठ गया सर एक अपने पेन और डायरी लेके and I started jotting down क्या क्या हो सकता है. Baramulla is a very huge district.
Yeah.
And it has got more than 100 colleges sir, and schools also. So मैंने थोड़ा सा उस पर रिसर्च वर्क किया और मैंने कहा कि सर बिल्कुल हो सकता है, provided the principals, the management of the schools and colleges are willing to take this idea. मैं उन सबसे पर्सनली कांटेक्ट किया, मैं मिला उनसे सर, and to my surprise they were forthcoming sir. उन्होंने कहा हाँ हमारे बच्चों को मौका मिलना चाहिए. Sir, I conducted with the help of a friend of mine who was 2IC of a single regiment. हम दोनों ने मिलके and with my musical expertise, सर हमने वहाँ पर exactly बारामूला सारेगामा हमने वहाँ पर कंडक्ट किया. 2007 की बात है सर. In spite of threats from the ultras कि आप ये सब क्यों कर रहे हैं, it became a very very successful, one of its own kinds of programs. और उसके बाद हमने शेरवानी हॉल के अंदर उसका ग्रैंड फिनाले किया. उसमें बहुत बड़े एपीज आए थे and it turned out to be a huge success sir.
Naturally, because doing it in the counterinsurgency operations, such things, and it would have a lot of effect in the winning the hearts and minds, whatever it is. After all, संगीत एक चीज भी ऐसा है कि जो सारे दिलों को जोड़ सकता है. उसमें फिर वो दुश्मनी और वो सब चीज फिर आती नहीं है, ना उसमें धर्म आता है, ना कुछ आता है. So Sangeet, of course, so that was exploited. So it was nice talking to you, Col VD Singh. So I am Major General S.K. Singh. I was just interviewing Col VD Singh, who have been an IT expert and working in the corporate world. He joined the armed forces as a education officer, and of course from there IT experts in की journey हुई है IT as a professional, where he achieved a higher qualifications also while remaining in the armed forces. Of course, you have been a glider, you have been flown microlight, all these and other adventure activities have been following you otherwise also. तो वो भी आपने किया अपने आर्म फोर्सेस में रह के, एंड ऑफ कोर्स सिंगिंग, आई मीन यू आर अ प्रोफेशनल सिंगर आल्सो. सो देखिए एक 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 बच्चा या एक यूथ से उठ के सिविल से कैसे फौज में जाता है, कितना उनका एक्सपोजर, all these things क्यों हो रहा है? Because it is the armed forces who is giving you all the opportunities. So friends, I'm quite sure you would have got a lot of tips and quite motivated from whatever Colonel VD Singh has to say. So with this, I come to the end of our interview with Colonel VD Singh. So for all those who have not subscribed our channel of TRISHAKTI Defense Academy Lucknow, please do so that once we interview and once we speak to the other personalities, we'll keep getting a lot of them in as part of the series. So keep watching us, keep following us. Thanks a lot, and Jai Hind to you, Colonel VD. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, sir.